Brent, welcome. Great to have you with us to talk about this year's findings of the Nokia Threat Intelligence Report. Some very interesting revelations coming through that report. But before we get to that, just tell us about how Genetec is involved in the prevention of cybercrime.
Thank you very much. Great to be here. Yeah, so Genetec, a Canadian-based company actually. We're 20 years old this year. The company is a software manufacturer, so we create a software platform specifically for the physical security world. However, in the last decade, these two worlds of cyber and physical have started to overlap. And Genetec's role has obviously become more and more prevalent within the cyberspace because of these worlds overlapping. So from a platform perspective, we offer the software to monitor your cameras, your access control readers, for example. And a lot of those devices nowadays are actually sitting on the network edge. And that's where our security of security features come into play. We want to make sure that we protect those devices that are at the network edge and ensure that the information that's coming through from there is secure as it can be.
Everybody needs protection these days because
Everybody
we live
needs
on the
protection.
internet virtually.
Absolutely.
All our information is there.
Absolutely.
What would you say is really striking about this year's report coming through in terms of cybercrime?
The biggest interest that I noticed was the number of mobile devices that are being targeted. We've seen a shift in targeting personal computers or PCs or laptops, and it's now seemed to in the last 2 years have evolved into targeting mobile devices. That of course I think keeps up with the industry trend of majority of people in the world having at least one, if not two cell phones, and that's where the cyber criminals seem to be focusing a lot of their time on, which is very interesting. That
makes a lot of sense though, if you have to think about how we use smartphones. They're virtually mini PCs, everything's on the smartphone. But how are syndicates or hackers, whatever you want to call them, targeting mobile phones? What are they using to target mobile phones?
So the mobile phones are actually being attacked via malware or malicious software. There's a huge amount of hackers or software developers that are creating these software portals that are looking to identify vulnerabilities on your device, whether that be your device that's on the open network or whether it be you downloading an application from the App Store directly. There's been some interesting information online regarding the iOS stores or the Android stores or Google Play where certain applications are actually loaded with malware, and in the hope that you will download their app and you will then unconsciously known have that piece of malware sitting on your device.
So how do you know, as a user, which app is safe and which isn't?
It's a good question, and it's all about education and research. Make sure that, as with an email, you know, if you get sent an email from an unknown address and it says please open the attachment, you probably shouldn't. Unless you verified, unless you know it's a trusted source, it's up to the education.
I get a lot of those emails actually, to be quite honest.
We all do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those phishing emails that are sent out in the hope of some of us not understanding the consequences or the repercussions or possibly understanding what may be attached to that email, and we open it and we don't see anything and we go about our day, but we don't realize that there may have been some malicious malware that was sitting in that application.